Hey guys. Hi. Okay, so happy Monday. Okay, I have something crazy to talk to you about today. It's another analogy. I'm on these right now. So, okay, how many of you have watched Ted Lasso? Okay, I'm obsessed. If you don't know what Ted Lasso is, I highly recommend it. Okay, so stay with me. This is a good one. It's something I learned this weekend that was just another way to put an analogy to this concept and this principle. So my name is Jen. I like to be known as Jen, the generator, and I am a mind ascension coach, and I help women propel themselves into their next level by blowing up the beliefs that no longer serve them so they can stop blowing up their life. It's kind of cool. Okay, so check it out. Back to Ted Lasso. Really interesting thing. I kind of binge watched a lot of it this weekend, and there's this scene. I think it's in episode 2, and I love this kind of leadership. It lights me up. I just love these things, and so look. He's on the field. He's a soccer coach, right? If you don't have the story, he's a soccer coach. He's on the field, and this young kid, he makes a huge error on the soccer field. Huge error. He comes into the locker room, and he's just beating himself up. Like, he's just replaying it over and over in his mind, just how stupid he is and what a terrible mistake it was, and just feeling awful. You guys ever been there? You ever felt like that? Where you just keep replaying this mistake over and over in your mind? And that mistake just gets bigger and bigger as you're replaying it. I've been there. And so anyway, back to Ted. So he sees him in the locker room doing this, and Ted calls him over. He's like, "Hey, Sam, come here." He comes over, his head's hanging low, and he's feeling really bad. And I know I've felt like that, just shameful of a silly mistake, right? Almost like just defeated, And he says to him, he says, "Hey, do you know what my favorite animal is?" And Sam's like, "Your favorite animal? Like, I just made a huge mistake." And Ted goes, "My favorite animal is a goldfish." And Sam's like, "A goldfish? What?" And Ted goes, "Yeah, because a goldfish is the only animal that only has a 10-second memory." So he looked at Sam and he goes, "Sam, be a goldfish." What? It's like, yes, there's such great advice. So think about this. What if we were all a goldfish and forgot 10 seconds before what happened and we were all just present? What would happen in your life? And here's the thing. This really relates back to the self-sabotage cycle I talk about a lot. Have any of you ever been in like a self-sabotage negative feedback loop? I have. Look, it's not easy to admit. Like, I totally understand that, you guys. I know it's not easy to admit if you're in a self-sabotage cycle. But the self-sabotage cycle happens when you decide not to be a goldfish, right? And so as hard as it is to admit, right, that we're up against something in our life, maybe the self-sabotage comes in a form of, maybe you're sabotaging yourself with your success and you keep holding yourself back, right? Maybe you're self-sabotaging yourself with food. Maybe your self-sabotage cycle is you get down to like, you're almost at your goal weight, you're almost there, and then you're like, "Oh, I just ate a box of Oreos. Screw it." And then you stay in that cycle. And the next thing you know, you're like, "Forget it. I already ate Oreos, so I'll just wake up and have a bagel and, I don't know, a muffin for breakfast." And the next thing you know, you're eating pasta for lunch and, a candy bar in the mid-afternoon. And you're soothing yourself for the behavior that you did that you forgot to forget about, right? You're soothing yourself. And that negative feedback loop continues, and it continues. You get guilty and shameful. You feel bad about yourself. You feel defeated. And you keep remembering those behaviors. And it keeps perpetuating into that negative feedback loop. And all of a sudden you feel out of control, lost, and you have no way to get out. Look, and this can be in any area of your life. It can be in your relationships. You could be self-sabotaging relationships the same way. You could be self-sabotaging your money. You could be self-sabotaging your business. You could be self-sabotaging your career, right? Because we self-sabotage to soothe emotions that we don't want to feel. We self-sabotage to soothe emotions that are coming up, right? So when they're coming up and we're afraid and there's something on the other side that's unknown, we sabotage it so we can stay comfortable. And that comfort is deadly. Staying comfortable is deadly. And self-sabotage likes to keep you in the comfort, right? And when we're breaking that cycle, it's hard. And it's hard to break because we're getting uncomfortable and our brain is doing something unknown. So if we don't know what it feels like, we we try to sabotage it because that's scary and that's fearful. So if you've always been overweight and you've never not, you're going to sabotage that because it's uncomfortable to be anything less. Who are you when you lose weight? If you've never been in a position at a job that's really high ranking, you self-sabotage it because you don't know how you're going to perform. It's unknown. You're scared. Maybe there's imposter syndrome. If you've never been in a loving, committed relationship because you don't know what that feels like, it's unknown. So you self-sabotage it to protect yourself, right? So these are all the things that I work through in my self-sabotage video course. I did a little mini video course. It's like a five-part series on all the reasons why we self-sabotage, identifying what your reasons are. And I know it's hard to admit, but we all do it. Like, you're not alone. I have to manage my own, right? And then you have the tools that are actual tangible real life tools to put into action to stop that cycle. It's pretty powerful. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I want to remind you to be a goldfish and forget what happened 10 seconds ago, right? And to just be present and move on. Forgive yourself. Get out of the guilt, get out of the shame, get out of that cycle. And so today, be a goldfish. And if you need more support, let me know. I can send you the link for that sabotage cycle, self-sabotage cycle 5-part video series. It's really good. Okay, bye guys. Hope you have a great Monday.